Happy New Year 2025 and have a great New Year's for Frank Down.
Get it going. Okay, Frankie. So this is the beginning of season 4. Okay, so this is 3 full years of doing this show, buddy. Can you believe that? 3 years, Frankie. And here we go. And roll the watchboard, Hank.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather or not.
Good day to you, Prince George. Listeners at C for 88.7 FM. Hello, CKUW 95.9 in Winnipeg. Hello, Kamloops, CFBX 92.5. I am Joey Only, your host, and greetings to watchers on Rogers Television. Hello, people on the live stream at Joey Only Caribbean Weather Dude YouTube channel. And hello to everybody listening on Apple and Spotify and all the podcast platforms that we are on. Wow, this is the Comedeorological Report, beginning of season 4. 4 years now we've been doing the show. I'm Joey Only. This is your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. Comedy plus meteorology. You put the two of them together, it's Comedeorology. It's it's funny business, the weather. So we're here to talk about that with our panel of weirdos and weather watchers and comedians and meteorologists and storm chasers and radio weathermen and cowboys and all kinds of freaks like that. We got with us, of course, Frankie McDonald, the world famous weatherman, the best weatherman in the entire friggin' world. This is this guy, Frankie McDonald, out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia. We'll have him on in about 1 minute's time, right? And then we got with us, of course, Brandon Houck, who's been with us for most of those last 3 years of the show. He came maybe episode 16 or 18 or something like that. Brandon probably joined us, I do believe. So we've had him for a long time. We're 176 episodes in. That's probably 160 episodes of Brandon Houck out there in Brooks, Alberta. We just love that guy. We got meteorologist Mark Engels in Surrey, British Columbia. Once again, of course, we got Karen Richards from the Facebook group that I founded there called Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers, which I'm in Facebook jail of and have had to make a new account called something else to administer my own group. So big time drama in the Facebook world. Always Cowboy Hilding Donaldson is with us in Grassy Plains, British Columbia. My good old time friend. Love that guy. Love you all. Hey friends, let's go with the show. We are pretty much ready for whatever here now. Are you ready, Frankie?
Yes, I'm ready. Plus, I'm on Bass Guy Show tomorrow night.
Frankie!
Can you yodel for us?
Frankie!
Who has the worst weather in the world, Frankie?
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie!
Frankie McDonald, how you doing so far, buddy?
I'm doing great so far. Weather all across Van, and it's really snowy in British Columbia interior, lots of rain. In Vancouver, British Columbia, cold temperatures as well. Then you got a snowstorm heading towards Cape Breton Island, and including Kansas and Missouri, where Nancy Rogers live, and Newfoundland as well. It's going to bring lots of snow in parts of Missouri, parts of Iowa, and Dayton, Ohio, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and all those places. It's going to bring lots of snow in Cincinnati, Ohio, and in mixed precipitation, Cincinnati and rain. It's going to bring lots of snow in Illinois and Indiana as well. It's going to bring a winter storm in St. Louis and Kansas City. That's where Auntie Rogers lives in St. Louis, Missouri. He's impacted. Auntie Rogers, the host of the Auntie Rogers Show, is impacted by a storm this Sunday coming. And Auntie Rogers will be come back doing the show again this Tuesday night coming. And Jason Marshall, We Don't Have Cookies, is also impacted on Sunday storm coming up as well. Jason Marshall is also impacted. We Don't Have Cookies podcast host is also impacted by the storm as well. And Jason Marshall's coming back this Sunday as well. Donna Mantis is it's going to bring thunderstorms where Donna Mantis is at in Arkansas this Sunday coming up. It's going to bring a lot of rain and possible large hail and severe thunderstorms and lightning and things like this and heavy downpours where Donna Mantis lives in Arkansas right now.
Yeah, it looks like Sunday is going to have a real severe weather outbreak, I think.
And in parts of Louisiana, and it's going to head towards Alabama where Shuley Agger, the guy who runs the Shuley Network, he lives in Alabama. He's getting severe weather outbreak as well. Then it got really cold air heading towards Missouri. And next week, Arkansas, where Donna Mantis, and Missouri, where Auntie Rogers, and Jason Marshall's getting more snow on Monday as well. We Don't Have Cookies podcast host. Jason Marshall's coming back Sunday. Auntie Rogers is coming back Tuesday. Ham Radio's coming back on Wednesday. And Football's podcast has come back on Thursday, and Anthony Rogers show has come back on Tuesday. Donna Mantis podcast has come back on Monday coming up as well. All those podcasts, people are returning from the holidays. Then they got some lots of snow in Washington, D.C., including Baltimore this Sunday coming as well, including Washington, D.C.'s getting lots of snow as well. Washington, D.C., USA's getting a lot of snow.
Anybody got a
Including Florida's
podcast in
going to get lots
Washington?
of rain in Florida. Then it got some really cold air and it got some snow later next week in Dallas, Texas. And Trey Cable's getting really, really cold weather late next week as well. Since a polar vortex is headed towards southeastern United States as well.
Remember we first started this show, Frankie, and the first time you had Trey on, and what happened was they
Trey's
had
doing
extremely
stand-up comedy
cold
in
weather.
Austin, Texas. He does stand-up comedy now.
Yeah, I remember in Houston they had that extreme cold weather when we first started this show. Trey did in Houston.
There's lots of thunderstorms, lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Guatemala, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Nigeria, Honduras, including Panama, and all those places right now. And weather down South America, lots of rain going on in Venezuela, Amazon rainforest, Colombia, Ecuador, parts of Peru, and Brazil, including lots of rain thunderstorms in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil going on right now. In the next week as well. In northern Chile, it's really, really dry right now. Santa Ana winds going on in Southern California right now. That's going to trigger a whole lot of fires for next week and this week and the next week, where Trevor Garter, the host of Trevor's Happy Hour, said Trevor Garter has returned to Trevor's Happy Hour once again. Trevor Garter is back doing Trevor's Happy Hour as well.
Yeah,
He did a New Year's Eve show on Wednesday as well. And if you did your hair pull this, it's really dry in southern Chile right now. Far as southern Chile is, then it gets some snow from the mountains and rain in southern coast areas as well. And the Falkland Islands are getting warmer weather there and cold weather fighting each other. It's southern hemisphere summer right now. Weather in Europe, in England, and all those places. Lots of stormy weather going on. There's a storm ahead for England. They're going to bring snow in Scotland, parts of Ireland, Northern Ireland, Isle of Man, England, Wales as well, with windy conditions in England, France, and rain and forecast, including Denmark, parts of Denmark. With rain and forecast, they got really strong winds hitting for Denmark, the Netherlands, and all those places. Monday and Tuesday coming up. Then they got some snow in Switzerland and all those places. Iceland is really cold right now. It's going to get really stormy and it's going to get cold weather next week in Spain and parts of Portugal. They're going to bring some snow in the forecast from Morocco, Africa. Then they got some rain in the forecast in Croatia, Bosnia, parts of Balkans, including Albania, Greece. It's warm. It's cold outside in Turkey. It's going to warm up in Turkey as well. Over in Libya and Egypt, it's dry right now to get some little bit of showers in forecast in Egypt right now. And Belarus and Moscow, Russia, it's really, really cold there right now. There's some flurries in the forecast. Over in Japan, oh my God, in Japan, there's a really cold air in Tokyo, Japan right now. There's a huge storm off the coast of Magadan, Russia. And off the coast of Alaska, there's a big low pressure system. And then they got lots of storms going on in really cold temperatures and snow in the forecast in Sapporo, Japan, and Sendai, Japan. Really cold temperatures going on in Japan right now. South Korea, North Korea, Vladivostok, Russia, northeastern China, Beijing, China, Mongolia. It's extremely cold in Siberia, according to Olivier from Klukatuk Nunavut. It's really dry in Hong Kong right now. In Thailand, Bangladesh, Myanmar, including Vietnam, Laos, and all those places. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Indonesia right now, Philippines, and Malaysia, the parts of Singapore right now. And Papua New Guinea, there's lots of rain and thunderstorms going there right now. And it's drier in Sri Lanka right now, they're in the dry season. India's in the dry season. Parts of Pakistan, Afghanistan, it's a little bit of showers in forecast in Pakistan and Afghanistan. Iran, it's really dry, a little bit of showers. And Iraq and Syria, but it's really cold in Iran, Iraq, Syria. In Saudi Arabia and all those places, it's dry there right now, a little bit of showers in the forecast in the Middle East. What?
Do they have podcasts in Saudi Arabia?
A lot of them don't speak English. Again, in all those places right now.
Yeah, I don't think
Dubai
you can have
and Abu Dhabi is really dry right now. In Sudan, Ethiopia, it's really dry right now. In Southern Africa, lots of rain, thunderstorms going on in Botswana right now. Angola, parts of Namibia, Mozambique, parts of southeastern South Africa. But it's extremely hot there right now. It's intense hot with a lot of thunderstorms in eastern South Africa with large hail and damaging winds and possible tornadoes in South Africa, including parts of and Cape Town, South Africa. It's really hot right now. Say it's Johannesburg, South Africa, including Mozambique, Madagascar, Larino, and Mauritius Islands. Down in Australia right now, lots of rain going on in northern Australia. It's really dry in Perth, Australia right now. It's really, really, really hot in Sydney, Australia right now. It's extremely hot in northern Australia with lots of thunderstorms and rain forecast. And weather all across Southwest Pacific. There's some rain going on in New Zealand right now. Auckland, New Zealand. Hamilton, New Zealand. Gisborne, New Zealand. New Plymouth, New Zealand. Wellington, New Zealand. But a little bit of windy in the forecast. The southern hemisphere of summer. They got unusual cool air in parts of New Zealand right now. And Invercargill, New Zealand's going to get really warm there right now. Then they got some rain in the forecast in Invercargill, New Zealand's going to work its way through Nelson, New Zealand, Gracemont, New Zealand, Queenstown, New Zealand, Nelson, Christchurch, and Dundee, New Zealand, all those places. Antarctica is 24-hour daylight. Once again, in around February, they'll be starting to get darkness again in Antarctica sometime in February. Then it's starting to get the first sunrise in Barrow, Alaska will be January 23rd. Then the daylight's starting to gradually come back all the way up to Greaseville, Nunavut, Neville, Alert, Nunavut. And there'll be daylight up in Alert, Nunavut in first day of spring on March 20th. Lifeguards will be back to work in July. It's going to bring extremely hot weather, and forest fire season will return to British Columbia June and July. It's going to bring a whole lot of fires in British Columbia once again.
I'm worried that we haven't seen the La Nina we wanted enough, Frankie, to counteract the fire season potential for next year. You know, we're sitting here at January. I'm like, okay, well, we still got time. We still got time. You weren't kidding about the heat in Australia, Frankie. Wow! Right now in Jara, it's 44 Celsius.
It's extremely hot there right now in Australia. It's southern hemisphere summer. Days are getting shorter in New Zealand right now. Time falls back in Australia in the first weekend in April, and so is New Zealand.
That's like the hottest place in the entire world right now is Jara. I think
in
that's
Sydney,
how you
Australia,
say it.
and all across New Zealand, their time falls back in first weekend in April. Our daylight savings time begins again on March 8th and the 9th, and United Kingdom's daylight saving times begin in last weekend in March. The day after my birthday, Egypt's daylight savings time begins.
Oh, yeah, okay. And minus 41 in Beaver River right now, Frankie, and also minus 42 in Mayo, Yukon. Some of the coldest temperatures in Canada right now. Imagine that.
It's extremely cold there right now.
Have you ever had temperature like that in Sydney, Nova Scotia? Probably not, eh?
We had that in February 2023 for a couple of days.
Brutal, brutal. Anyone on the panel got a question for Frankie McDonald? Meteorologist Mark Engels.
Frankie McDonald, are you responsible for the swarm of earthquakes happening in Ethiopia?
No, I'm not responsible for that.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm not.
He didn't say at all.
I wasn't responsible at all.
I tried to go to usgs.com and it brought me to some really weird thing that.
Well, it's .gov.
Yeah. It was like, it had like a bare butt or something. I was like, wait a second, I'm on the show live. I'm not trying to.
What
have
government
this right
department
now.
were you looking at?
In fact, maybe pretend it didn't say that. There's probably children watching this show. Don't go to that at all. Yeah, a couple of brand new one in Ethiopia, even 4.5. 4.5. So that's quite the earthquake swarm there. I guess they got that continental rift there, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little more on my part.
Brandon Houck's got a really funny question. I know it.
Oh, yes. Funny. That is right. So, Frankie, the clock that is behind you, where did you get that clock?
I ordered that on Amazon. That means
Amazon.
it changes different colors.
Oh, sweet. Are you able to change the time on that? So it says 11:30, but it's probably 11:15.
I just get ahead of it.
Okay. Good to know.
I was explaining what my mom used to do to somebody the other day, and she used to, because she was always late. It was because there's a person in my life who's always late. And I said, well, you got to make those adjustments, the other party was saying that I was talking to, not the party who's always late. And I said, yeah, you know what Mom did was she used to set her clocks all 15 minutes fast so that she was perpetually on time, although late by her own clocks.
That means Space Guy Show is tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
The Brandon Houck Report.
Oh, hi. This is the Brandon Houck Report.
Brought to you by
Smoking good barbecue.
Smoking Good Barbecue.
Oh, I just had a little smoking good barbecue right now. Yes, I did.
Was it really good?
Oh yeah, it was really good. Really good.
Oh.
That's what I've been doing with the camera off, in the last 10 minutes.
I wish I had smoking
Smoking
good
barbecue.
barbecue, just like you.
Smoking good barbecue.
There you
Okay,
go.
Brandon, tell us things. We didn't see you last week, so you must have lots to talk about. But you're not doing radio right now, so you basically turned your brain off for the last few weeks, and you really have nothing funny going on in your life. And you tell me that you're just completely unprepared.
Oh, well, I did prepare a little bit because I was kind of bored today, when you have a day off and you're like, oh, what's going on today? I'm kind of bored. I might as well just put a weather forecast together just for the fun of it, Yeah. So otherwise, the weather's been pretty quiet. I usually take time off and the weather just also takes time off around here. So it's kind of nice when it does that sometimes. We did have a little bit of snow this week, though. Probably last couple of days, about 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. It's not a lot of snow. Nothing too dramatic on that part, but otherwise, very nice weather through Christmas there. And we're into the cold. That's right. Extreme cold warnings are out across parts of the province as of, 8:17 p.m. Mountain Time on the 2nd of January 2025 already. And extreme cold warnings are in effect. Parts of the province from, let's say, Hannah all the way up to Camrose and into Lloydminster, extending into Saskatchewan, and then off into northern Alberta as well. We've got the extreme cold conditions, wind chills -40 to -45 expected in the next couple of nights here. And we also got the extreme cold warning in northern portions of Manitoba as well. And that cold air is really starting to settle in at this time. Now, for us in the Brooks area, we've got this cloud, we've got the stratus hanging around, so that's going to eliminate the potential for some bitterly cold air, but still going to be very, very cold for our area with wind chills pushing near -30 in the next couple of nights there. But periods of light snow and flurry activity is going to persist. And then as we go into Friday night to Saturday, we got this next system moving in from the south, and that is going to develop an area of more steadier snow in our neck of the woods. And that will mean a potential there for 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. Oh no, Canada's out of the World Junior Championship. No! Okay, 5 to 10 centimeters of snow expected overnight Friday into Saturday. I just got that notification pop up. That's terrible. Anyways, so that will be southern portions of the province, stretching into the Cypress Hills and into southwestern Saskatchewan. That's where we're going to see that snow persist. Now, we're also going to be watching a couple other things across the country. Once again, that cold Arctic air diving in across Saskatchewan, Manitoba, wind chills -40 to -45 in a few spots the next couple of nights there. The snow squalls off the Great Lakes. Some areas could see 40 to 60 centimeters of snow. And I'm also keeping an eye on another storm moving into Newfoundland over the weekend here. That's going to produce wind gusts, especially the Rackhouse winds could gust 150 kilometers an hour through the weekend as the pressure drops to 960 millibars there. And also we'll get a significant amount of snow in western Newfoundland, significant rainfall up to 70 millimeters in eastern Newfoundland there. And the same system could impact our friend Frankie in Sydney on Sunday there.
And not only that, there's another system going to impact Jason Marshall. We do have cookies on Sunday as well.
Oh, yes, that one too, yeah.
And it's going to impact Washington, D.C. It's going to impact Anthony Rogers in St. Louis, Missouri as well. It's going to impact Kansas as well. It's going to impact New York City and all those places.
All the podcasts, Brandon, are going to get hit.
Oh, yeah. All the podcasts, including Frankie with snow and a little bit of blowing snow. It'll also impact PEI as well with a bit of snow on Sunday there. So after they've,
and Vancouver's getting a lot of rain on the West Coast.
Oh, yes. A lot of rain.
And the winds going on in California.
Absolutely. All right.
And according to lots of rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Vancouver and Victoria.
Yes. Yes. All right. So I did find a couple, even though I'm off this week, I did find a couple things. And, on Boxing Day the Dallas Stars, well, they said, hey guys, guess what? Guess what we're going to do today? We're going to go do a practice today, just for the fun of it. Or maybe it was for serious thoughts. Who knows? Well, we're not doing anything at all today. No, nobody's going to watch World
Hey,
Junior
Joey, I
Hockey.
got news for you. I just sent my announcement for Base Guy Show for Friday, January 3rd.
I can't wait for that announcement. I can't wait. Okay, so yeah, so they said, let's do a practice today. All right. So they go out, the whole Dallas Stars team, they go out and do a practice on Boxing Day. Next week, the National Hockey League finds out that they went and practiced on a holiday when they're not supposed to practice on a holiday. So they fined the Dallas Stars $100,000 for going out to practice on Boxing Day there. Wow. All right. And then a couple Uber facts to end things off here. One that is a little spacey here, and another is a very hard word that I'm going to try to say, and I'll probably fail at saying this word. Okay. So first off, did you know there is an estimated 200 galaxies in the known universe for every human on Earth? Ooh, that's creepy, isn't it? And then this. Yes, this is a fear of long words, and this is what the word is, okay? It's a very long word. All right, here we go. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to say it. Here we are. The word is hippopotamostroquiptophobia. Phobia. There we go. That's the word of the week. Back to you, Bobby.
And that's the Brandon Hauk report. Brandon Hauk report.
Imogen's getting a lot of rain for the next few days.
Imogen's getting a lot of rain for the next few days. She is, eh? I wonder where Imogen is. We haven't seen her for a little while, and of course, we always
told me she's stuck in traffic.
Okay. Well,
I just got the fat check for pushing that.
My name, Mark Ingalls.
Pushing that agenda. It says here, HARP, climate change, whatever, in my bank account.
hey there, Marky.
Hello, Marky. I haven't been called that since high school. Brandon Hauk, when are we going to start hearing you list off some Welsh town names?
Oh. In 5 minutes.
Excellent. Okay. It's been very active here. Of course, the rain train is still going, and we had some rain today. I should say thank you for tuning in to your favorite podcast, the Comedeorological Report on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Castbox. I always forget that one. Anyway, that's the plug this week. Yeah, it's been pretty rainy. It's been pretty cold here. The other night, the city of Surrey issued an extreme cold notice, and they opened warming centers because the temperature was going to get down towards 0 degrees. I do not live in the same Canada as the rest of you guys, that's for sure. And I like it that way because I am here for cold rain. I mean, the best rain is like 15 degrees or 12 degrees, but any rain is good rain. So we got the rain train still coming. I think we'll have a good storm kind of like tomorrow into the weekend here. We're recording this on Thursday, January 2. But in the US, I'm going to talk about the US a lot, even though this is a Canadian show. In the US, it's going to get very active. They're going to have quite a bit of snow in the Northeast. They're going to have some freezing rain in a line from Kansas to Virginia. It's going to be very problematic in that area. We're talking upwards of 10 millimeters of ice. So power outages and all that sort of stuff will be possible. And in California, we talked about the Santa Ana winds with Frankie. This is going to be a potentially very big situation.
That's where Trevor Gardner, the host of Trevor's Happy Hour, lives.
So he needs to be prepared with a go bag, just in case he needs to evacuate for a wildfire. We're talking winds like gusting to 80 kilometers an hour, relative humidity values below 15%. This looks like it'll be midweek next week. Models are kind of pointing at Wednesday next week, but it could be any number of a couple of days there, Thursday or Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. keep an eye on that if you happen to be watching us from Southern California or you happen to be traveling to Southern California for some unknown reason. And then let's see. So Ethiopia is having an earthquake swarm. Ethiopia, Joey correctly said, Africa is splitting at Ethiopia. This is part of the East African Rift. Well, it's kind of part of it. It's actually technically not, but for the sake of this show, we're going to say it's part of it. Because it's
We
kind of the
always just
same.
make stuff up to make it easy.
Right, yeah. Yeah. The Ethiopian split. Africa is ripping apart there, and this causes a lot of volcanic and earthquake activity. This earthquake swarm going on right now is it's interesting because there haven't been any large earthquakes involved in it. They've all been, I think, sub 5.5. And it's pretty unusual to get, like, it's not uncommon to get earthquake swarms like this, but it is unusual in this part of the world, as far as we know. I read a paper today saying that it could be related to volcanism, which where you've got the ground splitting up, you're expecting lava to be or magma to be coming up. So that wouldn't be that surprising. This doesn't mean that a volcano is going to erupt. In like 2004 and 2005, an earthquake swarm happened, and the magma filled in what's called a dike. It was 8 meters wide, but 80 kilometers long. And that was magma that did not reach the surface and erupt. So that could be happening. It's very interesting to watch. My understanding is this is a pretty sparsely populated region. Ethiopia is a very volcanic country. So it's just interesting to watch. And yeah, and then for Christmas, one of the things that I got was maple flavored bacon jerky, Karen. We're going to give this a try. We actually picked this up in the States, but Alicia got it for me for my stocking because she knows that I love all the maple stuff. Picked it up at Walmart. Let's see. It definitely smells mapley. This is a better sign than the maple spam that we had a couple of months ago.
Oh yeah, the maple spam.
Oh man.
You should have known.
So the maple hits after like 2 seconds is what it is.
There's another earthquake that struck Chile, 6.1 magnitude earthquake.
That's a pretty good size one.
And they had an earthquake somewhere in the world. People in Vancouver, you can't escape from major earthquakes forever.
Yeah, maybe I'm responsible for that. Just chomping hard on this bacon. This is not Canadian bacon, by the way.
He might have caused it, Frankie. He didn't say at all.
I did not cause it at all. Both Ethiopia and Chile.
That's the report I have here, Surrey, British Columbia. Back to you, Bobby.
Okay, that's Bobby Bobcat. That's inside jokes here.
Somebody in Illinois is calling me. I'll be back.
Make sure you send all your love mail to Joey only. Still, I'm not actually Bobby Bobcat. That's just what I sometimes pretend I am, so that I can sneak around in the world.
That means I explained everything well enough. I'm a good explainer of things.
That's true.
Scabs will never be delicate and friendly, even though
Cowboy Hilding Donaldson, how you doing, buddy? How's Grassy Plains, British Columbia? Now, Hilding, before I talk to you and Karen, which we'll get to in a second, one thing I wanted to mention, and maybe you have something to say about this, seems like it's minus 17 near Houston right now, right? So I'm just going to talk to you about the spread of temperatures quickly in BC, just to give everyone kind of a picture out there on Thursday night here on January 2nd. And minus 3 in Kamloops, go up to Williams Lake, minus 14. Got the inversion here in Wells, still sitting at 9, minus 11 at my house. 15 below in Quesnel, minus 20 in Prince George. Then you go up, so you start getting north of PG, getting into some 23s near Mackenzie Airport. And you go up to Ossalinka, where I fought a wildfire before. Ossalinka River's minus 34. So that's not far, that's not even all the way up Lake Williston, right? And you're still, and of course, into Fort St. John, 24s and 28s. So some colder temperatures. But I think that spread is really interesting. And minus 17 out by you, as I was saying. I was talking to
fan of mine all the way from Illinois.
He's going to get that storm next week, isn't he, Frankie? So tell us about how it's not been much of a cold snap for you, has it, necessarily, Hilding?
No, the cold snap's going to hit Washington, D.C. It's going to hit Anthony Rogers. It's going to hit Auntie Rogers, the host of Auntie Rogers Show in Missouri. It's going to hit Jason Marshall. We don't have Cookies podcast hosted in Ohio.
It's going to hit all those free advertising podcasts there, Hilding. So it's going to warm up for you next week. And we got real good Pacific flow. That's what's going to.
And then the Trevor Garner, the host of Trevor's Happy Hour, is getting a powerful storm. Santa Ana winds where Trevor Garner is at.
That'll warm things up for you, Hilding. So tell us,
That's
Hilding,
going to trigger a lot of fires. That's going to trigger a whole lot of fires where Trevor is at.
So, Hilding Donaldson, tell us about your weather there.
Well, it's been kind of interesting. I mean, like we thought it was getting cold last week, but then it leveled off. We got a little bit of snow, but not very much, enough we could still move around for Christmas. Now this week on Monday, it was right around 0 when I left here to go down to Prince George. And I came back Tuesday night and it was -2. And then yesterday it was -10. And this morning it was -17. Now I just checked the thermometer about 10 minutes ago and it's down to -5 again. So the temperature's coming back up. And so I was kind of thinking it was going to be a long cold spell, but it doesn't seem like it unless it cools down again overnight again.
It's really crazy, like how sudden that really cold air lands in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like yesterday when it was -10, it was like -5 at 8 o'clock when I got up, and it was -10 by noon. And then this morning, it being -17, I thought it was just going to keep dropping.
I'm feeling like we're pretty lucky here in Wells. What about you, Karen? Are you finding -20 in Prince George? That's what I'm seeing right now on the board.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because, like Hilding, I mean, really, as the crow flies, you're not that far from me. And I did not have that. Like it was -5 on New Year's Eve. And then overnight, I got up New Year's Day, -17. Warmed up a little bit during the day, but this morning we got up to -28. When I woke up, it was -28. Right now, it's saying -17 on my station. And it's cold, but it's been fluctuating. Like it went down to -14, then it went back, to -20, and now it's sitting -17, but it's freaking cold.
Yeah, it's miserable. I feel like we really got lucky here in Wells that, like I say, it's 11 here. It's even warmer than it is in Quesnel. And because Quesnel is about 2,000 feet lower than us, you generally don't expect to see we are usually colder than them throughout the year until we get these crazy inversions. So it's really lovely, and that works for us. That's what I do like about the mountains. It's like when it's the heat spell and it's like it was 40 in Quesnel, it was only like 34 here, right? But when you get the cold spells in the past, it's like 34 in Quesnel, but it's only 30 or 28 here. It's not much of a difference, but still, there's a little bit of payoff. A little bit of payoff for all that time I spend absolutely living in the longer winters up here, right? Anything new? What'd you guys do for the New Year?
I was dancing on New Year's Eve as well.
Dancing with all the girls. What about you, Hilding? Dancing with were you dancing with the cows? Were you dancing?
Well, I took my daughter to the airport on Tuesday, and then I came home here and yesterday and today I've just sort of been catching up, and because it's been 7 years since my daughter was in BC, so it was a really nice thing to have her here for Christmas.
I had terrible holidays. I don't want to talk about it at all, but I'm glad you had good ones. I really am. Yeah. I've pulled myself out of the depression gutter enough to be able to maintain my life again, so that's good.
And what about Trevor? He's getting Santa Ana wins.
Trevor's getting Santa Ana wins.
So's Gary and Dino.
Is it like not only is Gary and Dino's show tougher than us, but they're also funnier and more popular.
Those Gary and Dino, they do want to talk to you, Frankie. They were telling
You're
me.
getting Santa Ana wins as well, and Trevor too.
And they want you to talk to them. You know what it's about. I got Frankie videos here. Frankie, do you want to watch the Frankie videos of the week?
Yeah.
Me too. Okay, and this time I'm gonna do it all correctly. You ready, everybody? I think I got 4 Frankie videos lined up
Plus,
to
I
go.
got an announcement for Base Guy Show.
Yeah, I haven't got that lined up right now, but I got these 4 lined up right now. Okay, Frankie? This is
Yeah.
starting with your Happy New Year.
Happy New Year 2025 and have a great New Year's for Frank Down.
Happy New Year, Frankie.
This is Frankie McDowell, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major earthquake is going to happen sometime in 2025 in California because California lies on the San Andreas fault line, lies between the North American plate and the Pacific plate. That's going to cause a major earthquake some point in 2025. The earthquakes are unpredictable, and we can't escape earthquakes forever in Southern California. I want every single person in California to be mentally prepared for a major earthquake because it's going to happen sometime in 2025 in Southern California, like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Sacramento, and the surrounding areas as well. It may affect Arizona, Nevada, Utah, and Oregon, and Washington as well. It's going to bring 7.0 greater magnitude or even 6.0 greater magnitude earthquake sometime in 2025. Lock your dishes in your cupboards. When the earthquake happens, go underneath the tables, go underneath the chairs. If you're outdoors, don't go inside the buildings during an earthquake for people living in Southern California because the earthquakes can damage bridges, can knock out the power grid. That can knock out the power and may bring down the power grid and may bring down transformers and power lines and may snap the telephone poles in half and trees in half in Southern California. Because the earthquake's going to happen anytime soon, make sure you have your medical kits, emergency kits, flashlights, candles, crank up radioactive batteries, generators, battery operators, and bottled water ready as well. Because the earthquake's going to happen sometime in 2025 in Southern California and the rest of California as well, including Los Angeles, San Francisco, and surrounding areas as well. Be extra prepared, be mentally prepared for people in Southern California. If you have anybody living in Southern California and the rest of California, be prepared for a major earthquake sometime in 2025. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in an earthquake. Stay safe and be safe.
Be mentally prepared. I like that.
This is Frank McDowell, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Massive winter storm is headed towards Missouri on Sunday, January 5th, 2025. It's going to bring up to 6 to 12 inches of snow or more, especially in St. Louis, Missouri, and Kansas City, Missouri. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be really strong. It's going to cause blown, drifted snow, reduced visibilities, really dangerous and treacherous traffic conditions, including Jefferson City, Missouri. It's going to bring a lot of snow, wind conditions, and blown snow, drifted snow, reduced visibility. It's going to bring really dangerous driving conditions, and streets, roads, highways, and interstate highways will be snow covered. There'll be big, huge snow drifts going on in Missouri. It's going to bring a whole lot of snow drifts in the state of Missouri, including St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas as well. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be really, really strong. It's going to cause blown, drifted snow, really dangerous driving conditions and treacherous driving conditions. It's going to bring a whole lot of snow drifts everywhere, powerful winds, blown snow, drifted snow, and it will bring freezing rain in southern Missouri as well, near the Arkansas border as well. People in Missouri, be prepared. Have your winter boots ready, winter jackets ready, hats, gloves, scarves, ski pants ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy a case of Pepsi, buy a case of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute.
Do it right now.
Do it right now.
Yes.
Make sure your smartphone, cell phones, laptops, tablets, charge. Have your 3G, 4G, 5G, and LTE internet ready as well. When you drive a car, take your time, drive a car slowly on, so you don't get in car accidents. When you go for a walk, be very careful walking so you don't fall. Make sure your furnaces and heat pumps ready. Turn on your furnaces and heat pumps to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green to keep you warm. Have your extra blankets ready to keep you warm as well. Make sure your shovels, snow scoops, snow blowers, snow plows, and salt trucks ready as well. And roundabouts will be really, really dangerous in major winter storms in Missouri as well. If everybody live in Missouri, be prepared for a major winter storm on Sunday, January 5th, 2025. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a major winter storm. Stay warm and be safe. Hey everybody, here's my World Tour January 2025 update. During my World Tour, I'll be going to every single province in Canada, every single state in the United States of America. I'll be going to every single area in Mexico, Guatemala, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Nigeria, Honduras, and Guatemala, including El Salvador, all the way down to Panama and Brazil and Argentina, Chile, Peru, Venezuela, Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia, and all those places. I'll be traveling to every single country in Europe, including Belarus and Russia and Norway, Finland, Sweden, and Turkey, and all these places. I'll be traveling to every single country in Asia as well, including Japan and South Korea, and in all those places I'll be traveling to every single country in Africa, including Angola, South Africa, Namibia, including Mozambique, Madagascar, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Kenya, Uganda, and all those places. I'll be traveling to every single country in the world on my world tour. I don't need an agent, I don't need a sponsors, I don't need a accountant, I'll be needing my own pilot, I don't need a professional translator, I don't need a logistics, and I don't need a lot of soundboard guys, I don't need a lot of people involved for my world tour. During my world tour, I'll be going to every single country on the planet. I don't need a lot of sponsors, I don't need a professional translator going to every country on the planet, because some of those countries don't even speak English at all. I'll be going to every single country on Earth for my world tour, going to one country after another and another. And I'll be going to Australia, New Zealand, and even South Pacific tropical islands like Vanuatu, New Caledonia, French Polynesia, and the South Pacific tropical islands as well. I'll be going to every single country on the whole entire planet Earth. People have to pay at the box office to go see me on stage. I'll be doing it. Speeches, I'll be dancing on stage, I'll be doing comedy skits on stage in both indoor and outdoor venues in every single country on the planet. I'll be going to every single country in the world. That'll be part of my world tour. I'll be going to so many countries in the world, one country right after another, and another, and another. I'll be going to every country on the planet on my world tour, including some of those countries that don't even speak English, and I'll be going during my world tour. I'll be going to every single country in the world. I'll need a catering, sound engineers, things like this from Frank Down. This is Frankie McDowell, my own TV station, live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major winter storm is headed towards Maryland on Monday, January 6, 2025. It's going to bring 6 to 12 inches of snow or more, especially in Baltimore, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., and the surrounding areas. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be really strong. It's going to cause blown, drift, and snow, reduced visibility, dangerous and treacherous drive conditions. It's going to bring a whole lot of snow. That's going to cause big snow drifts. It's going to bring really dangerous drive conditions around roundabouts in Maryland. Streets, roads, highways, and interstate highways will be snow covered in Maryland, especially in Washington, D.C., and Baltimore, Maryland, and surrounding areas, including parts of Virginia as well. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be really, really strong. It's going to cause blowing snow, drifting snow, reduced visibilities, really dangerous driving conditions in the state of Maryland, especially in Washington, D.C., and Baltimore, Maryland as well. People in Maryland, be prepared. Have your winter boots ready, winter jackets ready, hats and gloves, scarf and ski pants is ready. Order your pizzas and order Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till the last minute. Do it right now. Make sure your smartphones, cell phones, laptops, tablets, charge. Have a 3G, 4G, 5G, and LTE ready as well. When you drive a car, take your time, drive a car, slow down, so don't get into car accidents. When you go for a walk, be very careful walking to the adults in the fall. Make sure if your furnace and heat pumps ready, turn on your furnace to keep those warm. Drank lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drank lots of green tea, keep you warm. Have your extra blankets ready, keep you warm as well. Make sure if your shovel, snow scoop, snowblower, snow plow, salt trucks ready as well. If everybody live in Maryland, be prepared for it. Major winter storm on Monday, January 6th, 2025. It's going to start on Sunday, January 5th, 2025. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in major winter storm. Stay warm and be safe. Marshall's another very important person. Let's play the Ohio forecast. The last video.
I figure it's the same storm, right?
I just do play Ohio forecast because Jason Marshall, we don't have cookies, is a very important person to me. Let's play the video for Ohio.
Okay, I'll find it, Frankie. Give me a minute, then I'll find it. Because Jason Marshall is a very important person to you, and that's important. What do you guys think of Frankie's? I love when he says, "Don't wait, do it right now."
Wait a minute! I just sent you a video for Ohio winter storm forecast.
I'm getting it, Frankie. I'm asking everybody, what was your favorite part? I like when you say, "Don't wait, do it right now."
Yes.
I love when you say that. It's like always my favorite.
What about my Ohio forecast?
It takes me more than 2 seconds to get things set up. Okay, it's just I'm not good at this. That's why.
Frankie, I got another question for you. Frankie, have you ever done any polar bear plunges?
Not at all.
No?
What about the video, Joey? What about the video I sent you
I almost got it now, Frankie. It takes me a minute. It takes me a minute.
Are you gonna do a polar bear plunge someday, Frankie?
No.
No?
Wait a minute. I just sent you a video for Ohio.
It's coming, buddy.
Major winter storm is headed towards Ohio on Sunday, January 5th, 2025. It's going to bring a lot of snow, 6 to 12 inches of snow in Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, even Cleveland, Ohio. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be really strong. It's going to cause blowing, drifts, and snow, reduced visibilities, dangerous and treacherous drive conditions. It's going to bring snow drifts, blowing snow, drifting snow, streets, roads, highways, and interstate highways will be snow covered, especially roundabouts in state Ohio, including Dayton, Ohio, and Toledo, Ohio. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be really strong. It's going to cause blowing, drifting snow, reduced visibilities, really dangerous drive conditions in state Ohio. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be really, really strong. It's going to cause blowing snow, drifting snow, reduced visibilities, really dangerous driving conditions in state Ohio, especially in Dayton, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, and the surrounding areas as well. People in Ohio, be prepared. Have your winter boots ready, winter jackets ready, hats, gloves, and scarves, ski pants is ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute. Do it right now. Make sure you have your smartphones, cell phones, laptops, tablets, charged. Have your 3G, 4G, 5G, and LTE or rates as well. When you drive a car, take your time, drive the car, slow down, so you don't get in a car accident. So we go for a walk. Be very careful walking so you don't slip or fall. Make sure you have your furnaces and heat pumps ready. Turn on your furnaces and heat pumps to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea, keep you warm. Have for extra blankets for keep you warm. So make sure you have your shovels, snow scoops, snow blowers, snow plows, and salt trucks ready as well. If you have anybody living in Ohio, be prepared for major winter storm on Sunday, January 5th, 2025. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a major winter storm. Stay warm and be safe. That's where Jason Marshall, We Don't Have Cookies live, Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. I'd like to go to Dayton, Ohio sometime.
That's where Jason Marshall, We Don't Have Cookies live.
Just takes me a minute to find things and get them going because I'm still not very good. I was a good radio broadcast, switchboard guy. It's like, but when it comes to like having to run the computer and it's like, that's a soundboard, and this is like having to find websites.
And did you hear about this? And I'll be on Base Guy Show tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 7 p.m. Pacific.
How is this show so far? You're like 2 or 3 episodes in now, eh?
And 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific, Base Guy Show.
What's he done in the show so far, Frankie? What's
done a
happened
New Year's Eve podcast. And he's doing a show tomorrow night.
Yeah? That's 3 or 4 episodes back already. Jack Casey, the bass guy. Yeah, that's one of Frankie's best friends in the whole world. And he's a super nice character, all kidding aside. Jack Casey's one of those really nice people in the world. And, much like how Brandon is, I guess, or Hilding. And, even Karen, I guess. I mean, pretty much everyone in the panel but me.
Oh, you're a nice guy too, Joey.
I'm capable of it. Capable of it. Well, we got still about 10 minutes left to go here in the show, which means we got some time to talk about all the crazy things that have been happening in the world. Lots of them.
Or I shall go through. I promised Mark I'd do some town names here, He wanted those town names. So I'll start with one. And it's called the town of Star.
That's a nice name for a town.
Yeah, it is. And then this town that's below it is called Landfair, Paliwanga, Guri, Cheradola, Wantas, Laka, Kaka, Gaitagosh. What? That's how you say that town name. There we go.
Oh, I've never had to say that one before.
There we go. So those are the town names for Mark Ingalls tonight. Paliwanga, Guri, Cheradola, Wantas, Laka, Kaka, Gaitagosh. There we go.
That was really good. I understood you. There's a lot of crazy news that happened in BC this year, Brandon. Like there was 115 stuffed animals that was hidden in the walls of this house this Vancouver Island couple was renovating their house, and they found 115 creepy animals too. They weren't just normal looking. They're like something. They must have been from the 80s and 90s. They said so. There was that. There was hundreds of pounds of dirty diapers left by a family in the BC woods. So Okanagan volunteer group had to clean up this crazy amount. They filled a dump trailer. So there's so many dirty dump diapers at 1,000 pounds of used diapers. They said the smell was not fantastic. So imagine having to clean up 1,000 pounds of diapers. That's commitment to environmentalism. It's definitely something I would not want to be doing. Yeah, there was a supersized doggy door that helped a bear come into the house of this, so in North Vancouver there. So it's something you have about 20 times. There's a Maple Ridge raccoon. It had to get revived with Narcan because it was suspected the raccoon got poison from fentanyl. I wish Ronnie Grigg was here to explain why the raccoons are on drugs. Because things are out of control these days. Even the animals are on drugs. So, and there's no safe injection site or anything like that for raccoons. So it's a really serious problem, right? So, yeah. Some other strange things. There was eels on an airplane. You've heard of snakes on a plane. They said, you got to get these snakes off this train. We said on the show here, but Vancouver International Airport, they had unloading an aircraft, and a shipment of eels opened and spilled onto the ground. There was eels squirming on the apron all over the place. So lots of there was a chicken that rode the bus to school. It was Lacey, the world's smartest chicken, out in Gabriola Island, went on the school bus.
I bet it sat in the front seat too.
There's but this not so smart peacock there, free roaming peacocks, they angered people around Vancouver Island because they're pooping all over the place. Just peacocks everywhere pooping. So you people think of peacocks as being a really lovely animal until they have.
That means there's a possible Jason Marshall, We Don't Have Cookies, could be a special guest on Comedeorological Weather Report Thursday night at 11 p.m. Atlantic, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Next Thursday, Jason Marshall could be a special guest on your podcast.
You tell Jason I'd love that. Set it up, Frankie. Really, set it up. You got people you want to bring on, you tell them, as long as they're people like Jason who are good. Yeah, there was a NDP leader, David Eby, got stung by a wasp during a live event. And imagine that, getting stung. And then a BC city had millions of liters of ponds. They overran with thousands of goldfish there in Campbell River. There's so many goldfish overrunning everything in Campbell River. So that's some of the weirdest news in BC this year, Frankie McDonald. Any weird news happened in Sydney, Nova Scotia this year?
Well, apparently this last week, somebody stole a bunch of helium. So if anybody in around Brooks sounds really funny, it might be suspicious,
It'd be like people,
Their voice
they're
sounds
walking
really
around with balloons and the cops are on them like, where'd you get that helium? Well, it's a rare
I
commodity.
got that helium somewhere else.
This is a rare commodity, helium. You can't just manufacture or create helium out of nothingness. And we're using the world's helium supplies up to make balloons. It's just another example of the lack of foresight for future generations we have. We know we're using up all the world's oil reserves and coal reserves and all these great natural resources we have, that because we're unwilling to diversify our civilization, we're just going to use everything up and then not have it to use in the future. And that includes helium. Helium.
There you go.
That includes helium. Every time you do that to your voice, just remember you are, taking for granted something that our future generations will never know the hilarity of. Unless we go to another planet and find helium. That's possible, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Could be possible. That's right. So, yeah, that's the biggest story from the last week out of B-Town. A helium theft.
Okay, let's hear your helium voice, Brandon. Smoking good barbecue.
Smoking good barbecue. Woo!
Hilding, let's hear your helium voice. Karen, get ready. Come on.
Oh, no.
You want to be on this show, you got to be funny. That's the rules. Well, see, at least he made a sound. That's something.
Is that what go-go's are supposed to say?
Hey, Frankie, let's hear your helium voice. You got a helium voice? If you want to follow Frankie McDonald, you can find him at Blue Sky, YouTube. Where can we find you, Frankie?
If you want to follow me on social media, my blue sky is at Frankie MacD. My link tree is Frankie MacDonald. And my threads is at Frankie MacD984. My formerly Twitter is at Frankie MacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok is FrankDon984. My Clapper is FrankDon984. My Twitch is FrankDon984. My Snapchat is Frankie MECDON. My YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. And my LinkedIn is Frankie Down. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie Down. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie Down. You listen to Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday nights.
Hey, Gamma's got a good point there. She's talking about you should make a t-shirt.
And did you hear about this? Next week, Jason Marshall, We Don't Have Cookies, will be a special guest on Comedeorological Weather Report.
Let's do it. Tell Jason I would love to do that. I'd love to meet him again there.
I told him that on Twitter.
Okay, perfect. You know what? Gamma's got a good idea for you, Frankie. For your next t-shirt, it should say, do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're all used to the, be prepared. And I like what you said tonight, though, Frankie. You changed it a little bit for California. You said be mentally prepared. I think that's a really good point. Because you can have all the stuff together. You can have all the supplies, all the safety, all the provisions. But if you aren't ready to face how horrific sometimes an emergency situation can be.
My dad, Frank McDowell, wrote his latest song on SoundCloud, Mystic Mystics, Gives Me Fever. That's the title of his song.
Yeah. What other songs has your dad been writing lately? Gives Me Fever.
Writing a lot of songs.
Been writing a lot of songs lately. Frank McDonald Sr. there. You can find him on the SoundCloud. And Gives Me Fever. But I've been seeing already this year a lot of people posting memes and things saying they seem to think there's a new pandemic coming. I don't know where this came from, but people just have this fear. And already people are like, I will not comply with any health regulations. And I'm like, is that what 2025 is going to be like?
My dad, Frank McDonald's latest song is Gives Me Fever on his SoundCloud, Mystic Mist.
Yeah, it gives you fever. You can get maybe a vaccination for that fever, but people are like, no way. I don't know. Things are getting weird. 2025. I hope it's not one of those years again, because I don't know. But people seem to have this idea that the plandemic is coming back, and there was never a plandemic to begin with. People, viruses happen.
That means if a pandemic comes back, the whole world could be shut down again.
I would be happy with that. That would be the best thing for climate change is if everyone just stopped doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened last time we had a pandemic, Frankie? We made this show.
2020, 2021.
Yeah.
The whole world got shut down.
We're just sitting around bored. We're like, let's make a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been listening to us.
The got shut down. That means Anthony Rogers not stopping. That won't stop Anthony Rogers doing podcast. That won't stop Comedeorological Weather Report, nor Ham Radio, nor Base Guy Show, and nor Donovan podcast.
Well, I mean, it could if, like, say I die from a pandemic, but other than that, no, nothing will stop us. Nothing will stop us here. Joey on the Caribbean Weather Dude YouTube channel. Thanks for watching the live stream.
And that's not going to stop Jason Marshall. We don't have cookies either. It's not going to stop Trevor as well.
Nothing will stop Frankie McDonald. Nothing will stop Frankie. You've been hearing us on C4 88.7 FM, where nothing can stop Frankie in Prince George. Nothing can stop Frankie in Winnipeg at CKW 95.9 FM. Nothing can stop Frankie in Kamloops, British Columbia. We might be getting played now in Alberta and CJSR. I'm not sure yet, but there was talk of that. We'll find out, I guess, this year. And, of course, Frankie cannot be stopped on Rogers Television, Frankie. Cannot be stopped. That's the show for this week. We had meteorologist Mark Ingalls. He departed early, but he was here. And of course, we had Frankie McDonald.
That's the show.
That's the show. No. We had Brandon Houck. We had Hilding Donaldson. We had Karen Richards. This was the Comedeorological Report. I'm Joey Only, a.k.a. Bobby Bobcat. Bobby the Brain Bobcat.
Bobby the Bobcat.
Bobby the Bobcat. Well, that's the show, friends. That's the show, Frankie.
That's the show.
That's the show. That's the show, everybody.
Right behind the trees.
This is good.
Look at the rain. Oh, man.
Yeah, right now it's lighting up. Big time.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Look at the big puddle that we have right there.
Let's talk a little comedy and meteorology. Welcome to the show with Joey Only and Frankie, Hilding, Olivier, Chris, and Mark 2, Brandon and Imogen, Stover, and you.